Yeah, I think we are live.
Awesome. So, hello everyone, and welcome to another live stream by Language. I'm Bilal, founding engineer at Language, and I basically manage the front end, back end, and the AI sort of things. With me, hosting the stream is Saad. And Saad, can you kindly introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I'm also a founding engineer here at Langbase. I just like Bilal, I work with front end, back end, all the AI related stuff that you see at Langbase, and of course with Chai. So yeah, that's very brief introduction into who I am. Let's just get started.
Awesome. So, in today's live stream, let's do a quick agenda of sorts. We'll be covering chai. Now, what is chai if you're not familiar? Chai is um an AI agent builder by language, which can allow you to wipe code any AI agent by turning your prompts, your AI agent ideas into production ready agents and their apps. So, we recently launched agent apps in Chai, which basically are applications that Chai develops according to your agent uh, that are production ready. They auto update with your agent. They are intelligent enough to look at your agent's use case and build a fully functional agent app accordingly. For example, the one you see here, we created a support agent, and Chai went ahead and created an app for that support agent that is a production ready auto updates. It is deployable, one click, it is responsive, and you can also wipe code to customize it. So we will be covering agent apps today mostly, and later on in the stream we'll be taking your questions around language, its AI primitives, and Chai itself. And at the end, we will share some of the neat features that are coming up. And yeah, let's jump straight in. This is going to be pretty much a live workshop of sorts where we will be vibe coding agents. So, to really give you a quick introduction of agent apps, let me open up an agent I vibe coded uh, before. All right. So this is Chai. I basically asked it to create a meeting, an agent that basically summarizes meeting notes by taking input of rough notes and messy bullet points, and it gives back to me a structured agenda of sorts. So it went ahead and created an agent, but now it also builds an app for the agent. This is what it looks like. You can navigate to the application tab up here, and this is basically the face of our agent. It's a production ready deployed application that you can instantly share and start using your agent. With this example, let me quickly show you a quick example. Let's tell it to process the notes. It's gonna send a request to the agent behind the scenes, as you can see. And what it is doing is basically invoking our AI agent, uh, which is built using our language AI primitives, and it is returning back the response and showing it in the app it built for the agent. So we give a messy sort of uh, non-organized data, and it has structured it to action items, bullet points, and whatnot. So this is the basic idea of agent apps. It Agent apps help you not only preview and use your agent, but imagine the speed with which you can build POCs and even production ready apps. I mean, this particular agent, the agent app looks arguably looks great, and I would be happy to share it with my teammate and whatnot. All
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I remember we were talking with a couple of developers, and they wanted they asked me if we can build an agent, orchestrate some agents together, and get quickly see the output. And with Chai and with the agents app, we did it in like 2 minutes. I think their use case was about they wanted to visit some store online and read the reviews, and then read the reviews of a product, and just wanted to just get general recommendation whether we should buy the product or not. So it was like a very 2 minute one prompt shot kind of situation, and it was just I was able to do that with the app, which was really good.
Awesome. Now, with that agent example, I imagine there was probably within the agent a web search involved,
Yeah,
some
exactly.
crawling, and you think of it from an outside perspective, and you think, okay, this is gonna be complicated, and okay, I'll do it some other time. So, I mean, in today's world, if you're not building AI agents, you're missing out.
Yeah,
But I also had used to have a lot of awesome AI agent ideas, just fun stuff in my mind, but I could never, there was some sort of friction with actually building them into something ready for production. Uh, but Chai solved that, and you basically give a single prompt, and it goes ahead, plans the agent instantly, writes code for it, and with agent apps now, it is also shareable instantly. So you're not sharing something like an API endpoint only. You actually have an interface to share uh, your agent with.
yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Because I think a lot of the times I have seen people struggling with connecting different components together while building an agent. For example, just like what I described earlier, the use case where the agent should visit a website, see all the reviews around that, around the product page, on the product page, and just give a general recommendation whether the other person should buy it or not. And if you start mapping all those components inside your brain, you will realize that there are going to be a lot of moving parts. You will probably have to do some web search. You will have to call LLM to get sentiment of the reviews, generate recommendation, and all those fun stuff. And what the general sentiment we saw in a lot of developers was that they didn't really wanted to, they didn't really know how to connect all of these things together. And I think that's where Chai came in. And with Chai, you can just give it a prompt, and it will do all of it for you. It will write a code that will do the web search, do the sentiment analysis, do the recommendation part, and all while you are just it's like with Chai, the name, you are as like you are just sipping your chai in the meantime, and it will be generating an agent for you, which is going to be just like, yeah, and which you can just deploy and start using it right away, right?
exactly. So it is exactly that friction which I feel it has removed, and that's the most important factor. That's the most uh, that's the best thing about Chai for me, if I think about it. And it is always a developer first product. So uh, you get the full code, you can take it, download it, deploy it on your end, or choose to deploy on our cloud. So, all right. Uh, we have been talking a lot about the web search and crawl thingy. So let's actually uh, live code an agent that uses those things. So I'm gonna write a prompt, and I'm thinking, let's build a company research agent that takes a company name and goes ahead, searches it, and crawls the company's websites and comes up with sort of the insights around the company, uh, stuff like its funding history, leadership, and other metrics. So let's see it in action live. So all right, let's go ahead and make an agent that researches companies by gathering data. So this is gonna be research agents where there should be a lot of steps involved around searching, crawling, and summarizing the data. And this is where I'm gonna show you that this is where language workflows and AI primitives are gonna help us out. Well, also I'm gonna ask you to summarize the profiles. Okay, what do we need? We probably need the funding history, key metrics, um, leadership. Maybe we want to know about that. And all right, to support market research. All right, let's just one shot this and see how it does.
Yeah, like just reading your prompt, I see there are going to be a lot of moving parts in this agent, especially the web search, the crawling, and generating the general overview of every single company, whatever company you ask the agent app to search for. And yeah, uh, let's see what it does. I think it's building a workflow, right? It's
Yes.
have some description.
Yeah. So the first thing, very quickly, it has already planned out the agent and what it will do. And do I need to zoom in, sir? I think you are muted. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
I think a little bit. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. So yeah, we were pretty much right. It is gonna search for the company, crawl its websites, analyze, and generate structured company profile. All right. Awesome. So it's gonna start first of all with the agent code. Now, in agent.ts file, this is where the heart and brain of the agent lives, and it's gonna use the language AI primitives, which are A, serverless, and B, scalable, and they are the reason why this is possible. So it's gonna use yeah, so it's gonna use the language AI primitives to build a workflow for our agent, and we'll do a deep dive in this code later. So all the code files are ready. Let me quickly differentiate between them. Agent.ts here is the sort of the backend of the agent, right, Sir?
Yeah, it's where your agent workflow lives.
Yeah, so your agent logic, its steps, and all the handoffs, they live here. And this is the app folder. This is where your agent app will reside. It has styles, the app component, and the API route all inside it. So our agent is ready to be deployed, and all right, it's gonna ask intelligently the API case it needs. So because we are all right, so because we are using crawl and search functionalities, it's gonna ask for their keys. Let me quickly provide them off the screen here.
Yeah.
File crawl and exa. Cool. Let's go ahead and deploy the agent. So as it is deploying, it's gonna show you the deployment logs, and this is where you can potentially see if there are any deployment errors, and you can fix those deployment errors with Chai as well. So that's pretty neat. And yeah, while it deploys, I wanna go back and jump into the app folder. This is where your agent apps code would live. It is basically divided into three parts. The API endpoint, this is where your API requests to the agent logic as well as error handling will live. And agent.tsx is where your agent app component will live. And you can already see the components. It has like it's using cards and stuff, as well as styles and the package JSON file. All right. So, okay, our agent is deployed. There were no errors. And now we can actually go and check out the agent app. All right, awesome. So, this is the app it has built for ourselves. It has intelligently seen what the agent does, and considering that use case, it has went ahead and created an app for it.
Let's just try maybe cursor or something. Uh,
All right, sure. Let's give it cursor, see what it does.
yeah, cursor is yeah.
All right,
Everyone knows cursor now.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it.
so,
Sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
sure. All right, so what's happening is it has sent a request to our agent, which is currently deployed and live on this serverless API endpoint. And the console feature here is a neat way to sort of give you observability towards all the API requests and responses going to and from your agent app. So there can be situations where your agent app may not show you the correct error if it occurs. So you can basically see all the API responses here to possibly debug your agent if there is an issue with it. All right, so it's gonna take some time because it's a research agent, and with research agent, we are more concerned with the quality of the data more than the latency. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Also, I think it's since it's a multi-agent workflow. It's a single workflow with multiple steps involved in it, with so it's doing all those steps together. I think we have some output, right?
yeah, we've got the response, and I quickly want to show you the inside the console. This is where you can debug the response, get the status and whatnot from the API request. All right. So, okay. So this is the one shot app for our company Insights agent, and it has tried to, all right, it has tried to uh, separate out the response in different tabs, which is neat. And I'm guessing it didn't get anything around employees, so it's empty. Funding as well, leadership, okay, looks good. And a full report to go with it. Okay, let's try a different company which is slightly older,
Yeah.
like Stripe, maybe. And all right, so
Again, I think behind the scenes doing the same things. It's
yeah,
the web search to find all the relevant information about this company. Then it's going to do a crawl to visit those company this visit Stripe website to get more information. Then I think it's gonna use some LLM inside the workflow to generate a report using all the data that it has collected, right? Uh,
yeah. And let's go over the steps in detail by jumping in the code after we get this response. But I just want to point out that we have now two different prompt modes. So we have the agent mode as well as the app mode. So if you want to modify your agent, let's say I want to use Gemini instead of OpenAI, I would just ask it here because this is where it is going to modify the agent's logic itself. But if I want to go ahead and customize the agent app, let's say um, I want a different sort of UI here, a different sort of heading, I can actually just prompt it to do that and it will go ahead and make those changes, which I'm going to show you later on. And this is also a neat way to sort of improve your application and before you take it to production. And what we have seen so far, it is awesome at solving errors on its own. So our users have reported us errors uh, with the agent app, and they would just post a error here in the app mode and it will go ahead and solve it themselves.
Yeah, also like if there's an error inside the agent app itself, it will also show you a fix with Chai pop-up with the error inside of it, where you can just click on fix with Chai and it will start, regenerating the agent app to fix that particular error for you.
Yeah. So we have our report back, and
A slightly more information than Cursor, I believe.
slightly. It's also citing all the
Yeah,
sources, all,
that's
which is pretty good. News, leadership, funding, and everything else. All right. You can always go in the code, look at the agent tx file. This is where your agent apps code resides, and you can actually make changes. Like, let's say I want to call it company insights agent, and you can save it, deploy it, and do the whole stuff again. All right. If you don't, let's say if you don't want to use the app, the moment you deploy your agent, it becomes a serverless API endpoint, and you can go ahead and navigate to the API tab. This is where you'll find your API base URL. This is the API key, and below here you will find code snippets for different languages. So let's say you don't want to use language SDK, which is based in TypeScript, for your agent. Well, you can integrate it anywhere. Uh, for example, let me just copy over this curl request to something like Postman and paste it here. In the body, it will say input. Let's search for this. All right, let's run it and we'll circle back to it when it's done. So you get a deployed API for the agent itself, and you also get a deployed production ready application for the agent. Now, a neat thing about this application is the URL here. So each agent app comes with a live URL, which you can instantly share with your teammates, with your customer, or with a partner that you are working with on your agent idea. You can go ahead and copy it, open it in a new tab, and it's gonna open your agent app in its full entirety, just like that. Um, I also want to point out how to share your agent. So by default, all agents are private. But let's say I want to share it with my team. I can go ahead and select any of these two options. So if I only want to share the code, I can select the public code option. And if I want to share the application as well, you can do public all and make it public. And now this URL which we open here, it is going to be public. So you can share this with anyone. They can start using your agent, and there you go. In minutes, you have a production ready agent with its live application that you can go ahead and instantly share with people. Yeah. Any thoughts?
Yeah, one thing to reiterate of what Bilal just said, especially around sharing agents. By default, it's going to be private. Your agent app is going to be private. So everything like all this app, no one will be able to access it. And since we provide two different like three different options around sharing agent, which is private again, but it's by default it's private, then it's public all and public code. With public all, everything except your sensitive data, sen- uh, everything except your sensitive data is going to be public. And what actually, like in terms of like what includes in sensitive data, it's
Yeah.
your API keys, it's the API tab of the agent, of this agent. It's going to be your all the environment variables. It's going to be your memories that is attached with this agent. All these sensitive data, it's going to stay private, even if you have defined public all public all status for this particular agent. the
Right.
other one the other one that we have is actually public code, where if you only want to share your code and your chat history with someone, you do not want to share your agent app with the other person, then you can just select public code, and everything, again, your private data and sensitive data will stay private, and your agent app will also stay private. Only the code of the agent will be shared publicly with anyone that you want to share your agent with. And
right?
yeah, that's pretty much it.
So, so basically, it's like sharing your conversation with someone. They will not be able to use your agent unless you select the public all statement. So if you only want to share the conversation history to someone for, let's say, telling them that, okay, I build this use case, but you don't want them to use your agent, use your credits, you can go ahead and select that option. Okay, let's actually do a deep dive and check out the code. Let's see what is the agent's logic like. And before we do that, I encourage you to start with the agent flow. So Chai builds the agent's flow, which is essentially visualizing the how the agent works uh, in sort of a flow diagram of things. So as you can see, it's gonna take an input, it's gonna parse the company name, it's gonna go ahead and do a web search for the company's info, and these are the different key parameters it's gonna look for. Once it has that, it's gonna go ahead and crawl the company website, generate its profile, and basically return it. So with that out of the way, we can probably look at the code in a more nuanced way and understand it better. All right, so this is the agent.ts file. This is where your agent's logic lives. I want to go down here to the main invoker. All right. So what it's doing is it's basically taking an input and calling this company research workflow function. This guy. Okay. So it's gonna initialize the language SDK and the language workflow. I wanna touch base on language workflows real quick. It is one of the AI primitives by language. It essentially provides you with steps, handoffs, where you can set timeouts and stuff like retries. So you can build multi-agent workflows using this primitive. So we're gonna use a workflow primitive, and inside here, uh, these are the individual steps. So, all right, the first step, we are basically extracting the company's name from the user's query. For this particular step, we are using the language agent primitive. The language agent primitive is an AI primitive, which is essentially a runtime LLM agent. And the good thing about it, it is a unified LLM API that supports hundreds of LLM models, the latest and greatest, across different providers like OpenAI, Anthropic, and DeepSeek, and more. And the good thing about it is unified API, so you don't have to change your API shape or the response shape if you are chaining a model or if you're chaining a provider. All right, so it's using an agent to basically parse the company name. Then it is going to go ahead and use that company name to search for it. This is where it's going to use the language tools primitive, and within it, the web search. Let's jump to docs again and take a look at the tools primitive. There you go, web search. And the website, it is going to use a service which is exa currently, and it also provides some other options, like you can specify the total results it should return, and if you have selective domains to search from. So here we are going to use we only need the total results of 3 total. And all right, so this particular step is going to involve different web searches for each key what would I say, for each key fact, like the funding history, leadership, and recent news. Now, I suppose this is um good for keeping same results, because if we were to combine all these four key metrics in a single web search call, it will probably not be ideal. So Chai decided intelligently that it should make these web searches differently across different calls. All right, this is cool. I would not have predicted this. And finally, in the step three, it's gonna go ahead and crawl the company's website. So this is where it is. This is where it's gonna use search to find the company's website, and it's gonna extract the website URL from the search results using the language agent primitive and pass it on down below. And this is where it is summarizing the whole thing intelligently. Awesome. So I hope
One
you
thing,
understand that it is a complex workflow which I built for you in seconds. And if I were to sit and code this, it will probably take me more than an hour just to figure out the best way to do stuff. But because it is trained and has, let's just call it experience around building AI agents, it can predict and plan to build AI agentic workflows in the best way for you.
yeah, one thing I would like to point here is Chai also do prompt engineering for you. Like if you see that it automatically wrote the instructions for this particular agent, and if Bilal scrolls down, yeah, as you can see that it has written a very detailed instructions for this particular agent, that okay, you are a company research specialist, based on the prior information create a comprehensive profile for the company. It's going to dynamically add populate it with the company name, and then the profile should include all these things. So the Chai also not only like writing all the code, Chai will also do prompt engineering for you. So you can get the best out of every single agent that that Chai will use.
Exactly. And just by looking at it, I think we can probably prompt it to use structured outputs, and it will go ahead and do the prompt engineering. It will write the schema for you, and it will just build an agent that works. So yeah, I think it's time to go ahead with another example I have on my mind. Let's
Was
use structured. Yeah, let's use structured outputs in it as well as OCR.
great.
So, all right. So I'm gonna ask you to make a math problem solver agent. It should take a math question in text or in an image. All right. Through vision and takes input as a. Okay. Now in the response, it should show how to solve the problem step by step, kind of like a math tutor of sorts. And I'm gonna ask it to use structured outputs, because why not, to give clean step by step reasoning. Yeah, that works. All right. The reason I wanna build this particular agent is because the agent app it's gonna put forward. And all right, so it's starting to think. It has planned out the agent, and it's gonna write the agent logic now. As you can see, it has already figured out the schema for the structured output, where there are keys like the problem, steps involved, and whatnot. It's gonna start building the app now.
I think here, looking at the code, uh, back then when I was in university, I think this would have really helped, especially when you're doing linear algebra and different differential equations and then probability and all those things where you really want to see what the solution is. I think this would have really helped.
True, absolutely. And it's also gonna do vision. So basically OCR, right? So you
Yeah.
can give it an image of a math problem and it's gonna solve it. It's doing fun stuff around detecting the whether the image is a URL or a base64 image. So all right, it's ready to be deployed. Let's deploy it. Go ahead and deploy it. And while it is deploying, I'm gonna go off screen and quickly search for a math problem image.
Well, let's just first start with a simpler one and see how it does before moving on to a complex problem.
Okay, two
Yeah.
plus two.
Not that simple, but sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
Uh,
yeah, I think in the meantime, while you're looking at it, I see there are like a few notes on the side which I can probably go over.
sure.
Like we have for image processing, we need to ensure that there is image URL is accessible to the model. So uh, we need to do that. Then the agent uses this agent is going to use structured output to ensure that we have a consistent response format.
Yes.
So that is that is relevant to what Bilal also added in his prompt, that go and use structured output to build this agent. Then there are for complex problems, your agent will break. Okay, there was something. Your complex problem, your agent will break down. Okay, it not break. It says break down. And yeah,
Yeah.
I think yeah,
So structured output is helpful anytime you want structured uh, data that is reliable, or if you want reasoning, which is this what this solver is gonna do. It's gonna give us step by step reasoning. So reasoning or chain of thought is a known uh, use case for structured outputs as well. So that's why I thought it would be a neat use case for this. I'm just gonna copy this example
yeah. Let's test this.
input and let's just go ahead and see if solve a text problem. I love how good this application is. I mean,
So
okay,
it's quite simple.
yeah,
Let's
okay. It gave back a step-by-step solution, and that which looks awesome. And I'm more interested in the OCR thing. Let's see if it works or not. I have the math problem here. Okay,
I,
cool.
by the way, also did quickly the math in my head, and it was right. X equal to 4 is correct.
Awesome. All right. You can also go ahead and change it. Wow. Okay. Solve the image. It's analyzing the image. Let's see if it works or not. Wow, that was fast.
It
Okay.
does work. Wow. Okay.
Hmm.
I
So
think
this is so this is the image, by the way, if you missed, and this is a not so easy question. What it's doing behind the scenes, it's doing vision OCR, and it's solving the question by giving us step by step reasoning on how to solve them. All right. It looks neat, but I wanna improve the design here, right? The
yeah.
steps are hard to read. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch over to the app mode, and let's ask it to use accordions for steps and minimize them by default. Show result separately. All right. So this will probably improve the design. And like I said, you can just prompt it to improve your agent application, which, by the way, already looks great to me. It created these tabs for the input, and It handles all the vision tasks. You know, it is behind the scenes, probably uploading the image, converting it to a base 64, and sending it over to the agent, which is pretty neat. All right, so we prompted in the app mode, and as you can see, it is only gonna change the app related files, which is
Yeah.
uh, which is also neat because it's gonna be faster to customize your agent app. We don't need to be changing the agent for this, and this is why we ship the different prompt modes that target the app and agent separately. So yeah, styles and whatnot, it should be ready to deploy anytime soon.
Yeah, I think it's generating the styles files. It's now writing the APS serverless API route the app is going to call.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, that's it. Let's deploy. I think it created a new version, right?
Yes. So try does version anytime you prompt it or change the agent. It preserves each version so that if you don't like what it outputted or what your agent looks like now, you can simply click here and go to the previous agent and deploy it again, and try will point to that agent when you go to the link. Awesome.
That's
So, quick questions are, if I were to change to the version one, will my app also point to that version?
yeah, like you just need to switch to the version 1 and deploy it again, and your app is going to point to the version 1, the
Awesome.
initial version without the accordion.
Awesome. So it's basically versioning both the agent as well as the agent app's code.
Yeah, last time we did a live when we did a live stream, I remember we were not versioning the agent app code, but now we also, with every new agent app iteration, we version it so you can switch back to any of the previous agent app version, and yeah, just redeploy it again if the new version messes up.
Awesome. Okay. So, all right. We probably need to prompt it again because, all right, let me see if I can improve the prompt here. All right, this is a good time to go back. This is a good time to go back to version one and try again.
Yeah,
And so if I were to prompt now, can I delete this message?
yeah, you can just delete it, and
Cool.
that's completely fine. You can like I think this is
Awesome.
probably a good way to do that, because you don't, if it messes up, you can just delete the message, so your the context of your conversation is not messed up at the end of the day, and it only has all the good things that works in during your agent development.
Awesome. That actually helps because you don't want to mess up the context and have it return the same thing again.
Yeah,
And for the accepting Koreans, let's just ask this. I don't want it to change the final answer.
yeah,
And this is also a good time to show that you can always go ahead and okay, you can always go ahead and change the code from the agent IDE. And let's say I want to go ahead and change the agent application. I can go ahead and do do this. It's gonna ask me to save the changes, and then I can go ahead and deploy it, and it will point to the new agent. So you always have that sort of freedom. And all right, is it ready to be deployed? Let's just ask it this.
I think you will need to deploy the version, so you have selected version 1, right?
Yeah.
The version
Oh,
2
okay.
is currently live at the moment, so you will need to redeploy version 1 once you have selected it.
Neat.
Yeah, just hit to deployment. Yeah, perfect. So I think one other thing that we can probably mention is I think we since we don't have a lot of versions right now, you can also compare changes across versions. Since we only have version one, it will like it probably won't work. But if you Bilal, can you click on in the meantime? Can you click on the button right next to the copy icon, the compare button?
Sure. So right now it's comparing
Yeah,
version one with version one.
yeah, it's just comparing since like there are not like yeah, there's a version 2, right? If you click
Yeah.
on it, since we didn't change the agent.ts file in our version 2, it's not gonna show any changes inside of it. But if Bilal switches to, let's say, agent.tsx file, which is our agent app file, it's going to show all the
Oh,
changes what
cool.
changed.
So if I do this and I were to do this, it's gonna show the what it changed. All right,
Yeah,
this is awesome. So this is where we can actually have observability on what it actually changed to fix the problem we were having.
yeah.
And awesome, this is pretty neat. Cool. I don't see. Okay, let's see how it does. By the way, we are using a very cheap model behind the scenes, which is I think 4.1 mini. If you want to change it, you can always ask it to improve to, let's say, a better model.
Let's do
Uh,
that. Also, like, let's change it right in the code editor instead of prompting
okay,
Chai,
cool.
so
Sure.
people can see how they can just do it right there.
Awesome. So Chai was intelligent enough to use a better model for the step that was important, which was where we were using the structured outputs. So it's actually using the GPT-4 model, which is a decent one. And for the other steps, it is yeah, it's using the 4.1 mini for analyzing the question, which is not really tough ask. All right, so we can probably go ahead and use 4.1 here. We'll save this.
Do we have a 4.1 or 4.1 dash mini?
We do.
Perfect.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and deploy it, right?
Yeah, just deploy the latest version. Like, what just happened was when Bilal saved, press Command plus S. You can just press Command plus S, or if you are on Windows, Control plus S, and it's gonna save the file, the edited file that you are experimenting with, and it's gonna create a new version for you. So, uh,
Awesome.
yeah.
Okay, we got an error from the deployment, and this is a good time to show how you can just ask Chai to fix the error for you, and it will go ahead and do that. So yeah, let's do that.
So this was what I was talking about earlier. Like you, whenever there's an error, Chai will just show a pop-up with the error inside of it, and you can just click Fix with Chai, and it's gonna just ask the Chai to fix it for you.
Awesome.
Yeah. While this is happening, we can probably yeah
Okay, so it also selected the prompt mode on its own, which is neat
yeah
because I was in agent mode here, but as I can see, it is modifying the agent app file as well.
yeah exactly.
Cool. We are also shipping components for pre-built components that will solve issues like this and which will make agent apps more consistent in terms of design because agent itself it is going to be working perfectly, but you want to have a more sort of dependable design for predictable interfaces such as chat, you, like we just say React Markdown, which parses Markdown to show it properly. So we're gonna be shipping pre-built components for it. Saad, do you have some comments around that?
Yeah, sure. Exactly. We are probably going to be shipping that end of day tomorrow. So you guys should be able to use all sorts of different fun components around chat, around Markdown, all of those without needing to ask the Chai to just use it for you. It's gonna just that agent app is gonna use it by default. So that's gonna be out by end of day tomorrow, most likely.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I assume it's gonna improve a lot of things.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, it is deployed. Let's go over the application again and see. Yeah, the deployment error is fixed, by the way. It was a deployment error. We asked Chai to fix it, and it has fixed it.
Yeah,
Uh, awesome. Cool. You get the final answer as well.
I think this is much better format. Like there
Yeah,
are problem spaces this time. I can easily
yeah,
read it.
yeah. I mean, it is. It's up to you. You can spend. I can spend hours customizing it, but this already looks amazing, and you can always just share the live URL with uh, anyone and start using the agent uh, basically instantly. And this is where I think Chai shines, because you go from your agent idea to production in no time, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, awesome. Uh,
One thing I would like to share here is like to all the public agents that other people are building and putting it out there. If you like someone, if you like one of those agents, you can just fork it. Fork is as simple as like earlier we talked about that there are public all and then public code. If you fork any of these public all or public code agent, it's gonna fork all the chat history, the versions, everything, and then you can just deploy it in your particular profile, and the agent is going to be live for you, and you can just start using it. So that's something, yeah, which is really which is really fun.
yeah, awesome. If you like an agent and it is public, which is, for example, this particular one, this is not my account, but this is a public all agent. I can just go ahead and fork this agent, choose uh, an owner, description, and fork it to my account and start building on top of it instantly. So we also gonna have a community page where you'll be able to find all the best uh, agents that are public, and we have a lot of people in our community building really great agents that, and they really want to share it out with the whole community, and I think that's gonna be neat. um, Also hop on our Discord, because we actively have these sort of discussions there. And yeah, I think we are on time now.
Yeah,
uh, yeah, if
I
Saad, if you have any questions, or if you want to share what we are shipping next week or in the next live stream, feel free to take the lead.
Yeah, so I do see one question. It's around how to integrate with hundreds of external MCPs from Composio, Pipetree, Market, Sim3, etc. And I think that's from in terms of context of Chai. So I can talk about, I can take this question where we have added support for different MCPs with agent.run, where you can just ask Chai to use, for example, intercom MCP, and Chai is going to use that for you, and it's gonna use you know uh, use whatever query you are asking the agent, and use the MCP to get the relevant information, etc., and then generate the final output for you. So we do have support for MCPs. We are supporting a handful of MCPs right now, but in the coming weeks we are going to roll out all the different kinds of MCP support, from Slack to GitHub to Gmail, all these kind of MCPs. So yeah, stay tuned, and we are going to be shipping it really soon.
Awesome. And yeah, like I said, hop on our Discord, and we do have we are launching our MCP server next week, and we will be sharing guides, demos, and probably a live stream around it coming next week. And like Saad said, MCP is the growing use case with AI agents, and we fully support it in Chai.
Perfect. I think that's pretty much it.
Awesome.
Awesome. So I think we will be doing another live stream next week, folks. So stay tuned. Do follow us on our social media channels. You can follow us on Twitter. You could please go ahead and join our Discord if you have any questions, or if you want to interact with the team. Talk about Chai, or just have any question. Feel free to reach out to us on our Discord. And yeah, that's about it. See you guys next week. See ya. Bye.
See you guys.